Hello everyone, Daniel Kerr here. So last time I threw together some instrument racks and made some beats and showed you how to do that, how to compile this, and then I accidentally closed that without saving it. So I pulled up some new stuff, and I wanted to work on the drums a little bit, make them a little bit heavier and this and that. And what I did was on the second one over here, I went ahead and I added these LFOs to select the effects 1, effects 2, and percussion. I got rid of the orchestral stabs in these because I don't need these that right now. And then I did one more LFO that does the transpose of just the percussion slice here. So it's choosing a different perk, and it's also transposing it in real time. I made most of these a little bit faster, right? Just so that they would choose more over an amount of time. And then I added more from my 8-bit samples over here. In fact, if you go into the description of this video, you can get this collection of 8-bit drum loops, which I made actually from scratch. Here, listen. Yeah, anyway, I kind of showed a few of those off last night. Well, I've selected a few of those here, and man, they sound a lot harder than last night. Listen. Ah, there's a baby. Yeah, my microphone's picking up all kinds of family noise right now because this is not the middle of the night. So anyway, I'm going to continue along these lines. What I'm going to do, I'm going to try to, like I said, keep everything using just the Ableton stock instruments and effects and whatnot, just because I want everybody to have everything that I have accessible. It might reach the point where I have to use some third-party stuff, and if I do have to, I'm going to try to use freeware stuff. But right now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab the 3 of these pieces here, and I'm going to group those, Control G, and let's see. I'm going to color that pink so that I can see it. I'm going to hit Control R, and I'm going to rename it Drums. And then what I'm going to do is I want to put some compression on there. So I'm going to go into Audio Effects, and I'm going to grab the compressor, and I'm going to drop it into the drums. All right. Now, the thing about the compressor in Ableton, I'm going to put the ratio right around 5, okay? And I'm going to leave the attack time right where it's at. I'm going to bring the release time down to about 6 milliseconds. And I'm going to turn off makeup gain, okay? And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab the limiter, and I'm going to put that directly after it, okay? And I'm going to silence this limiter first to listen. With compression, without compression, okay? We pull the threshold down a bit. Okay. Barely compressing, then I'll turn the limiter on. Squash it just a tad, and then I'll pull the volume down over here a bit, okay? So I'm gonna save this now, so that, because we're doing that. So the next thing that you want to do, well, the next thing I'm going to do, actually, is I guess I'm going to put a drum and bass fill in here so that I can use it as a fill. And then afterward, well, anyway, let me do that. Let me go into my audio samples. I have a bunch of drum and bass breaks. These breaks, it basically samples every drum and bass break from like 1992 to 1998. It's crazy. Amen. 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 All right. I guess I'll grab this piece and I'll throw it over here, okay? Okay, I guess for the rest of this video, I'm going to show you how to do some chopping up of different breaks. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this break and I'm going to Control X, which is just to exit out. Now I'm inside the drums group on channel number 7. Hit the tab key and go over to the other session view. I don't know which one's called session view, or maybe this one's called session view, I don't know. Hit the red arrow, which makes it play. And what I'm going to do is stretch that sucker out four of those so I can see it. And I'm going to zoom in and I'm going to open it up so I can see the wave. All right. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab pieces of this and I'm going to use the Control D function to duplicate it so I can glitch it up a little bit. In fact, first thing I'm going to do is transpose it up about 4 semitones. Okay, that kind of makes it sound glitchy. I think what I'm going to do is turn it down 4. Okay, and this piece here, let's zoom in a little harder. This little click here, going to duplicate that. Let's see. This guy here. If I hit Control E, it isolates it, double click it. I'm going to change that from beats to complex, which makes it granular, and I'm going to stretch it out. Okay, listen. This guy here, I'm going to bring up to, that way it has a change. And this guy here, we'll cut it there, bring it back to -4. And I'll isolate this and also change that to complex and stretch it out. Okay. And this guy, duplicate that a couple times. This one will change from beats to complex, stretch it out, and we'll bring it up a full octave, which brings it to 8. And I'll stretch that out a little. Okay, let's see. Stretch that out, Control E to isolate it, stretch it out, and duplicate that a couple times, and then half it and duplicate that. Now listen. Duplicate that. And this guy here, we'll put an octave up, and we'll change that to Complex Pro and stretch it twice. Okay, now I'm going to hold select so I can grab, or hold shift so I can select all of that, and Control J to consolidate it. Then, because it consolidates without a loop, I'll put the loop point in, Control S to save. And since I have it grabbed, go ahead and save, come on, come on. I only have 4 gigs of RAM in this machine. It's hilarious. Control X, flip it around, and put it right back where it was. Now, so now while I'm playing these, I have a fill. Now, the thing about this guy is if I want it to continue where these all left off and make it trigger as a quote fill unquote in different spots each time, then I can go to launch mode and I can launch it in legato, all right? So what that means is if you're looking at this one, as soon as I hit this one, picks up right where the other one left off, right? It doesn't trigger it from the beginning. So save, okay? And I guess just to make things a little bit harder, I'm going to, well, these are MIDI notes, right? So I'm going to grab a piece of this. Let's duplicate this one and bring it down. And let's duplicate this one and bring it down. Okay. Now these are probably going to trigger just the same as they were up here if I launch them both at once. However, what we can do is if we hit Control Tab and go back to the device, right, we can take the rate from this LFO, right, and we can right-click Show Automation, and it'll show us in the envelope the automation, and we can make that faster, right? And then go back to the next one, right? Show Automation, and we'll make that one a little quicker as well. Take the next one, Show Automation, and we'll make that one a little slower. And this one here, Show Automation, and we'll make that one a little quicker, and we will take the waveform, Show Automation, and we'll change it from a sine to random, all right? And we did that with that one. Now we'll do the same thing with these guys. Oh, there is nothing over here. So over here, there's no LFO tool. So what we'll do here is we'll just grab Effect Select, and we will Show Automation, and we will make it select different ones like this, okay? And what we can do is make a strange looking envelope, and then we'll unlink it so it doesn't share the same BPM, and we'll bring the loop point in closer. It's not it's an off time loop point, which means that it will continue to evolve over time. Let's listen. Okay, now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take this audio channel and bring it out to the end here so I can so it's accessible and easy. Okay, and I'm going to open up my audio interface here, and I'm going to say that this audio channel, channel number 9, track 9, is going to grab audio from drums, from the drums group. I'm going to turn it off so we're not hearing 2 instances of it. And I'm going to arm it for recording, and I'm going to take a few bars of this. Listen. As you can hear, it's pretty much the same, but it is actually grabbing different it's grabbing different effects and whatnot. Okay, now turn that back on, disarm recording, and this is the blue one, number 9. I'm gonna X, switch tabs, and I'm gonna put it on the track and hit the red arrow, and I'm going to open it up so we can see it, and we're going to look at it. First thing I'm going to do is raise the volume of the clip itself. Then I'm going to change this from scrubbing. Okay, the way it has one arrow and 2 arrows going opposite directions, what that means is that if the timing is such, if you change the tempo and the pitch to where each transient, right, see this is transients, where it reaches the end of the transient before the next transient triggers, right, like instead of sounding all choppy and weird, what it's going to do is it's actually going to scrub a tiny little piece of the transient at the end. I'm going to make it so it only does it once. It's one shot. So listen. Now that's the original tempo, so it doesn't sound different, but if I were to transpose these way up, you'll hear the choppiness. Hear the silence between transients. So if it was back to where it was, now listen. It just loops a tiny bit at the end, right? But I don't want that. I'm going to put it at one shot. I'm going to slow these down, right, by lowering the transients, transposition. And I'm going to shorten the notes by bringing this from 100% down to about 40%. Hear that? I can make it into clicks. Okay, let's mess with the transposition. Let's go in the volume here, and in the envelopes, show all envelopes, we'll go transposition modulation. We'll do what we did before. We'll unlink it, and we'll keep it looped, but we'll bring it to about 6. I'm going to hit Control B, which gives me a pen tool, And I'm going to do this. All right, and now let's listen. You know what? If I zoom in a little harder, we'll have better resolution. So let me get rid of some of these things. Whoops.